Good morning, wrestling fans. Welcome to PWR today for 12/28, December 28th, 2020. We've got 3 days left in this year that was 2020. Our perfect vision, or our double vision, has led us to the end of the year. I'm the man they call Meathead, and bringing in every Monday morning, a snowy Monday morning here in Appleton, Wiss, is the lovely Linda Kay. Good morning, Linda.
Good morning, Meathead. I'm looking at it as 3 more days till New Year's Eve. I mean, whatever celebration we can do, not dwelling on the year 2020, but looking ahead into 2021.
Yeah, so I mean, that's your livelihood, that's your world, and many years ago that was mine too. But I've moved on for that. Honestly, I'm working. I've got other stuff going on that night, and it's ordering Chinese takeout. That's what New Year's Eve is for me.
Mine, I think, will just be a little bit of bubbly and at home.
This is the year I think we get our kids to stay up till midnight. My oldest, literally, she made it till 45 and then fell asleep on the floor. Missed it by 15 minutes. Well, as we do every Monday morning during the football season, let's first talk about those really hard-hitting Green Bay Packers. They came out in the snow. You guys saw the snow last night in Lambeau Field? That's what it looks like at my house too. I mean, we are covered in it. We don't have people running the Iditarod outside my house. A guy in a jumpsuit with a dog pulling him along, cross-country skiing. Did you see that during the commercial break?
I didn't catch that part.
It was one of those bumpers where they come back from commercial, and Al Michaels is talking about, and here goes a guy on cross-country skis right across Lambeau Field, on the outside, probably going down Lombardi Ave. And the dog was pulling him along.
I mean, I will say one nice additional thing about Green Bay and Lambeau Field and the Packer community itself is the Packer fans coming in to shovel the bleachers in a regular scenario.
In a normal world, yeah.
Yeah. But how about the Packers?
It didn't happen. We if you heard on the game, they had about 1,000 people in the stands. These were all healthcare workers, actually, from the area this time. So they're basically gifting these tickets and having people come in to make a little noise in the stadium. So absolutely fantastic. Plus, it's championship Monday morning. I know there's a game between the Bills and the Patriots tonight, but the man they call Meathead has gone 14 years. It is time. I have finally won my Money Fantasy League. It's glorious morning, Linda. It's glorious.
Glorious.
Let's talk about our sponsors, our friends at manscaped.com. They had a promo out there that was adding on to the promo we give you, which is our code PWR. But I believe they're still allowing our promo to work. Save yourself 20% and get yourself silky smooth. Get yourself all shaved up, as cold as it is. Make sure you're silky smooth, and then talking to our friends at collarandelbowbrand.com. Get yourself some winter gear. I just went through the shop again. I think it was yesterday, like in mid-afternoon, looking for some more gear. So promo code at PWR360 for collarandelbowbrand.com. Linda, how was your weekend? How was your holiday weekend?
Holidays were nice, a small family gathering and great
Not enough
gifts.
To have the police outside your door?
No, but my favorite gift I'm actually wearing right now, it's a warm plush Green Bay Packer robe.
Ooh.
Yeah. So nice, nice gifts and just, little get-togethers. I made cookies.
Oh, okay. Anything different, anything out of the norm that you guys do that you don't hear other families doing? Any kind of traditions you guys have?
Not really. I mean, we've been playing video games, and
there's nothing wrong with that.
Cap off the night. No, but that wasn't really a thing we did growing up. It's become a newer tradition. But I don't know. How about you?
It's for the man they call Meathead, it's travel day, really. I mean, because again, as I've said, the family is always in Milwaukee area. Appleton's a couple hours away, so you got to plan it out. You got to schedule out your stops. You come in on the 24th. You plan out what's houses you're going to be at there. You plan out where you're going to crash for the night. You wake up, you get dressed. You plan out your day. I think we are at 3 or 4 houses over the couple days. So.
Nice.
Let us talk about the big thing that popped early yesterday. I think it was mid-afternoon yesterday when the news came out. AEW star, former WWE star, and, according to everybody that's posted on social media, a hell of a guy. Brodie Lee in AEW. Luke Harper in WWE has passed due to complications from lung disease, apparently. The family, his wife, has been quick to point out that this is not COVID related. So we don't want anybody jumping on that. I don't know, and they have not mentioned why, he was out. Was it injury? Was it whatever? Apparently, he got serious enough that he was in the Mayo Clinic. Why he's been gone the last couple of months. The last time we really saw him was after he dropped it back to Cody when Cody won the TNT Championship back. I was sent back. I had to sit down when I saw that because, one, you see the age. The guy's 41. He's got a wife and 2 kids. 2, you think about, wow, this is a guy that's been kind of on our televisions, in one form or another, AEW or Bludgeon Brothers or, Wyatt Family or, NXT when he was down there. We've seen this guy. One of our good friends, Lance Allen, I believe, had an interview with him on TMJ4 down in the Milwaukee area. This is a guy that was well-liked, well-respected by other guys that he worked with, and it's just a sad thing to see him go. Linda, your thoughts?
Yeah, you broke the news to me, actually. You sent me a text and clicked on it. I wrote you, what?
Yeah.
And yeah, I just shocked to really see that headline. Like you said, seeing the age and really finding out the reasoning to why he's been off TV. I think we all assumed he was away from injury, unless we missed something that may have been said. I know you and I talked about how there really wasn't much of a mention on TV on AEW as to why the leader of the Dark Order, has been absent. But I guess that was why it was safe to assume he was injured. But after reading that, I just really I couldn't believe it at first. It's like, wait, is this a real story? Is this a real article? Yeah, I was taken aback as well. Very saddened by it, and especially after seeing the outpouring of love in the comments from his peers and colleagues and just everybody in the industry, talking about just how great of a man he was, what a great family man, what a great leader he was in the industry, and just a great human being. So it's, still very sad to see. I, was reading through all the tweets and Instagram posts just from everybody just saying the nicest things about him. It was.
I want to read the Chris Jericho one. Did you see that from Instagram?
The picture?
The picture, yeah. And the merchandise of picture of him going, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was the thing that he said a lot of times in WWE. He'd reach out to the crowd, yeah, 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 right? Mm-hmm. So this is Jericho. Backstage in Mexico in 2015, Brodie was annoyed that he didn't have his own merch t-shirt, so one of the brothers got a bunch made in his honor. We all wore them in tribute to the dude because everybody loved him. Just a wonderful man and a kick-ass worker. We never had a bad match, and I probably worked with him 50 times. I was a big fan of his and even helped bring him into All Elite Wrestling, where he did his best work of his career in a very short time. I'm going to try to find that goofy fucking shirt, and if I do, I'm going to hang it on my wall so I can be reminded daily what a legit great person looks like. Thanks, John. You were one in a million, a true brother's brother. John Huber. I don't have it in front of me right now, but there were some very beautiful words also said by Bray Wyatt about Luke Harper. And again, Luke Harper was technically brought up into television by Bray Wyatt when they made the Wyatt family. It's a tough thing, and I don't want to kind of drag on to it. It's a tough thing to have happen. Again, 41 years old, husband, father. Now he's gone. I hope there's some sort of tribute to him. I don't know what AEW plans on doing. I'd like to see something tonight on Raw as well, just to honor the man and maybe, show a couple matches. I don't think they will because he's on All Elite Wrestling right now, and I don't think they'll show his matches. They'll just show up one of those graphics to start the show, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. Yeah, it's just crazy. Again, just how much he meant to everybody outside of the wrestling. Well, and of course, but outside of it as well. So obviously his history with Randy Orton and him saying, I'm at a loss for words, and just given everything going on. And Big E wrote something very sentimental as well. He had a really long post, but one of the line or sentences he had was, "Thank you for loving me." It's like,
oh my God.
Yeah.
That hits kind of deep there too. Because we're talking about these big burly men, literally kind of putting it out there. So Brodie Lee, John Huber, Luke Harper has passed at the age of 41. Let's talk about Smackdown from Friday night, okay? It was the Christmas Day show. I was telling you pre-conversation before we went on the air here that I was very fortunate to have my overrun because at Sate's game where Kamara scored 6 touchdowns. By the way, he was on my team. That Kamara game with the 6 touchdowns ran long, so SmackDown didn't start until 6 after the hour. Luckily, I have a 5-minute overrun, so I didn't miss the finish, of the match because obviously, travel and so forth. SmackDown was packed for a holiday edition. It looks like they actually pulled in some ratings as well. Let's talk about the first match. It was Roman Reigns defeating Kevin Owens in a Universal Championship steel cage match. I think they really booked this thing heavy because they knew it was Christmas and we're trying to catch, that one-off person that normally doesn't watch. Try to catch them watching. What were your thoughts on Reigns beating Owens? And then I don't know if you caught what Owens said to Reigns as he was sitting there stuck while Reigns came out, tapped his feet on the ground.
Well, I was really surprised to hear how many big matches and title matches there were for that special Christmas edition of SmackDown as well. But I thought it was great. It was a fair shot. I mean, there was a reasoning to why we had this rematch and why it was in a steel cage. It was to give Kevin Owens a fair shot so that hopefully we wouldn't have interference from Jey Uso or from anybody else. So that was nice leading in to why we were getting. I mean, normally, you get the rematch, for a championship match. But usually that's when the champion loses.
I think that was back when Shane came back. They said they were taking those out, so there is no automatic rematch.
Okay. Well, I was saying usually that's when the champion loses that they get their title shot again. But we found out why there was another title match between the two of them on SmackDown. But I thought it was great. I mean, everything leading up to that pay-per-view match and to last week's SmackDown match has been gold between Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns. So we just got some more of that. There's some way to get Jey Uso involved, and he still got involved, primarily in the finish where he pulled a page out of the Sami Zayn Chronicles with the handcuffs. Yeah. To handcuff Kevin Owens to the cage, who still was able to kind of get his feet dangling outside of the door, but unable to obviously leave the cage. But you mentioned Kevin Owens saying something as Roman Reigns was, stepping off.
It was pretty gnarly. I mean, to hear, I think he called him a punk bitch.
Okay, I did hear that.
Yeah.
Or at least the B word, but okay. So this pretty much shows that this will still continue.
Yeah, and Owens had said, Owens has been quoted in saying he wants to keep working with Roman because they've got some good chemistry right now.
I like it. Yeah,
I like it too. Sadly, Owens won't get anywhere with it. I mean, it'll make him a bigger star, but he's not getting that belt.
Yeah, maybe sometime down the line, but probably not as we're going into WrestleMania season. But as we've said, this has really put Kevin Owens back into not just a spotlight, but a bigger spotlight, a more main event spotlight.
Hey, Charlotte Flair and Asuka were announced to be defending the women's tag team championships, but it was never announced to be who they were against. Well, as they're cutting their promo, here comes the women. Here comes Bayley. Here comes Bianca Belair. Here comes Carmella. It is going to be what looks to be, here comes Sasha. It's going to be a 3-way elimination tag team match. It seemed to be put together kind of sloppy, especially if Carmella and Bayley were going to be on the same team. Why did they come out separated from each other? It was weird.
Yeah, they all came out separate well, actually, so did Asuka and Charlotte, but the tag teams that were also put together quickly, I mean, I guess since Asuka and Charlotte were put together quickly as well, came out separate, did their own promo. I think it flowed okay about, with each of them coming out separately to kind of show why this match was happening, but still quickly, softly put together.
I was going to say, I got a problem with Bianca Belair's promos right now.
What's up?
Yes, I know what her gimmick is. She's the EST. I know what EST stands for. She's the EST of WWE. She's the best. She's the greatest. She's the powerest. How are you going to come up there and tell everybody you're that, and you're talking to champions? You haven't won a damn thing. Those don't mean anything to me.
Well, I mean, it's her thing. I mean, she's trying to show.
Wouldn't it make sense if we at least let her win a belt once, where she could say she did that? Because right now, EST doesn't mean, ANY, THING. I don't know. I was trying to make that clever. It didn't work out.
But the ones she really highlights on is she's the quickest, strongest.
She said she was the best. How are you the best? You didn't win a damn belt.
Oh, she's getting there.
Those are all clever lines for somebody who won something. That's, again, me as a fan, that bothers me.
Okay.
It would be like watching a sporting event. Your what are they? 11-3? No, 12-3 Green Bay Packers. You'd be listening to the color commentator telling you how he would do something if he never did it. Like last night, we had Collinsworth and Al Michaels. Al Michaels will never tell you how he would do it if he was playing a game because he never played the game. But your color commentator, Chris Collinsworth, is a Hall of Famer who's been to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he can tell you how he did it.
Okay, I see where you're coming from.
The only exception I've ever seen in our time was the team of Summerall and Madden. Pat Summerall is a Hall of Famer. He was a punter. So even though he was the play-by-play guy, he played. So I had no problem with Summerall saying what he would do because he did it. That's why I never have any problem with female commentators on, Major League Baseball. The color commentators, as long as they played, if they played softball, they played baseball, whatever, they know the game. But don't come in like when we had Dennis Miller or Tony Kornheiser, giving their opinion on what they should do. Shut up, you didn't do it. That bothers me.
Okay. Well,
the girls, the women, Asuka and Charlotte, retain. I liked during the NFL Sunday kickoff, I liked them having to throw to promos. I haven't watched kickoff in a while. I like them having to throw to promos to WWE. It seems forced, because mainstream media has always made fun of wrestling, but now that they're in bed with WWE on Fox, they have to be polite and give proper send-offs to them.
Oh yeah, let's take it to WWE or Michael Cole.
Yeah, Michael Cole. Right, exactly. It's all canned, but Charlotte and Asuka remain women's champions. Let's talk about Daniel Bryan and Jey Uso. Daniel Bryan is the first to declare for the 2021 Royal Rumble.
Yes.
I don't know if that means anything, but he is going to be in it.
Yes. Sorry.
I know what you were doing. It was yes, yes, yes. He defeats Jey Uso, and while Jey Uso is still relevant, because he's hanging around with cousin Roman, Jey Uso's losing a lot of singles matches.
Yeah, he has been. I mean, does that mean Roman's still just beating him down till
I don't know.
Starts winning?
Where does this go? And I'm kind of interested in it.
Yeah, you got to believe that it's going to continue for a while. We're just on that brink of the road to WrestleMania, so got to stick with what's working right now, and then some changes that may take place a little closer to WrestleMania or at WrestleMania or right after WrestleMania. So, yeah, I mean, I feel that right now Jey Uso can lose the matches because what's standing out most about him right now is his loyalty to cousin Roman.
I have a question for you. In a 2-hour program, how many matches do you normally think you would have on a regular 2-hour SmackDown?
Regular 2-hour SmackDown? 6?
We had 4.
Promos?
Not promos, matches. We had 4 matches. We had 4 matches. Roman and Kevin Owens. We had the women's tag team match. We had Bryan and Uso. And the main event, Big E and Sammy. Turned into a lumberjack match. I also have a bone to pick too. Why were there Raw lumberjacks?
Okay, I was a little confused by that at first. I saw Angel Garza come out. I saw Tozawa, Gulak, and I was like, oh, okay.
You know why they came out? Because R-Truth is on Raw. He's the 20-person champion, but he's on Raw, so they didn't have anything to do.
Well, maybe they just wanted to partake in the holiday spirit.
I guess. It's funny. They want us to believe in their rules, that suspend our disbelief, but when it's convenient to them, they seem to bend their rules.
Yeah, there was no mention of it. I think they could have said, lumberjacks from both Raw and SmackDown. Why not?
It would have made it special, don't you think?
Yeah, and kind of like how they always have to explain why the women's tag team can be cross-branded, so
Right.
it makes
And
sense
technically, so
to
can
the
our
common
truth.
viewer. Yeah. Oh yeah.
So can our
Our
truth. He
truth.
should be on any show.
That's true.
Let's speak of our truth, and let's speak about Raw, and let's speak about what's coming up tonight. Randy Orton's going to end up getting consequences, I believe, from Alexa Bliss in Alexa's Playground. I loved that Alexa's Playground, and it said, did it say Yowie Wowie on the swing set?
I would have to look back.
Yeah, I think it said Yowie Wowie on there. That was, again, we've been doing this long enough now over the summer. I've loved the progression of this. How Alexa Bliss got mixed in because of Braun Strowman, got brought in, got taken over by The Fiend, by Bray Wyatt, and we've gotten a brand new Alexa Bliss. And again, I love every inch of it. She went from Daddy's Little Monster, the Harley Quinn version, to the happy talk show host with Nikki Cross, to this incarnation. And I'd take in every bit of it. Every bit of it. Your thoughts on what we got coming up on Raw tonight?
Well, I'm still holding it right now. We're going to talk about our new Intercontinental Champion. Sorry. It's my boy. I
completely forgot about that. I mean, we talked about the match, and I completely spaced on it because I was busy about the Raw. Hey,
wait.
What team is he on?
A long time that just got the time. I know it wasn't at a pay-per-view, but I am very excited from how SmackDown ended.
Oh, and I'll tell you what, I'm so sorry because you know what? I know how happy you are because this was part of your PWR fantasy draft strategy. You said, you know what? I know he's probably not going to have it right away, but I know he's getting that Intercontinental Championship. I'm going to get him now. That's exactly what you said to me.
Yeah, but also it was a way for me to bring the New Day back together in some fashion. Oh. And I enjoyed the match. I really wasn't sure how it was going to turn out, but it kind of made sense to me about why they had the Universal Championship match first, because you would think that would close out the show, but instead it opened the show. And
well, that was to get the carryover from football.
Oh yeah,
that's called the lead in. You got the lead in from football. So, I mean, you wanted to keep people. And let's, I got to go back on this real quick. Not to take your Big E stuff, but we're going to come back to it in a second. Did you read the social media comments about what they were doing, talking about Chris Jericho? On AEW on Wednesday night, Dynamite led right after the Bucks Celtics game. Oh, what a crusher, too, because Giannis missed a free throw. But, people stuck around and watched because they said, hey, coming up next, AEW Dynamite. And they had that lead in, right? Mm-hmm. Dude, people kept calling Jericho Vince Neil. And said, what happened to Chris Jericho? Yes, we look at Chris Jericho every week. We know that Chris Jericho was not in the physical shape he was even 5 years ago. But, bro, that's harsh.
Yeah.
I mean, they were dogging him hard.
Yeah.
I still think Jericho's talented. But let's talk about Big E. How excited are you that Big E, again, we're all over the place here, folks. How excited are you that Big E is now the Intercontinental Champion? Where does he go next? Does he defend it at the Royal Rumble? Is he taking it all the way to WrestleMania? What's happening with Big E?
I think he takes it all the way to WrestleMania. I mean, they worked hard to really get him on this pedestal, outside of the New Day. I think this lead up between him and Sami Zayn was great. It came to fruition with Big E getting the championship, and I mean, it was a great way to cap off a holiday episode of SmackDown. And I feel.
Did you see the T-shirt he got in the back? Because Sammy's walking around with the "I'm the Intercontinental Champion." Yeah. Somebody handed him the "I'm not the Intercontinental Champion."
The Street Profits, yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think that they can do a little bit more between him and Sami. Maybe a match at the Rumble, but I hope that Big E would still retain the title, not just because he's on Team Long Time, but just because I think it's what the fans want right now too. I think everyone is very happy for Big E to get that championship, and hopefully he can keep the strap on him for a while.
Use that strap on. It's a good point. It's funny. I was feeling nostalgic over the weekend too, and I pulled up the PWR fantasy draft, the actual draft, the 3-video draft that we did. Mm-hmm. I think it was in April with Mike Wickett. Mm-hmm. and I'm listening to all the picks that we made, and I did not believe when I brought in the Street Profits that they would still be champions till this day.
Yeah, I mean, they carried it over into SmackDown after having
they traded with New Day and said, hey, do you mind if we have the red ones? Can we have the blue ones?
Yeah.
Sure, there you go.
But they never lost it. You're right.
They've been champions the entire time. Wow. Drew McIntyre lost it and got it right back.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I mean, just look at that roster. You know, I hate to brag about that, but I already won fantasy football yesterday. You know, that big paycheck. Wonder what kind of paycheck I'm getting for the PWR fantasy draft.
We shall see.
We'll have to get a trophy made or something of like a bowler on the top that says PWR fantasy draft champion.
I mean, there's the trophy, but I mean, is this year's going to be similar in size to the?
Oh no, mine'll be bigger, way bigger.
Oh, remember that women's trophy for that women's battle royal that everyone said looked anatomically? Yeah. Anyway,
I know I bugged Matthew about it, but have you ever watched The League? It was on FX and then FXX.
No, I know you guys talked about it, but no, I have not.
You got to go see the trophies that they had on that show. The Dre was anatomically correct too. It was fantastic.
Okay. Which then leads us to your initial question a couple minutes ago. What do I feel about the progression of Alexa Bliss? I think it's great. I mean, it's been a slow build of her turning from that happy-go-lucky, Bliss. What's her show?
Moment of.
Huh?
Yeah, Moment of Bliss.
Yeah, Moment of Bliss. Thank you. Into that little sneak peek when she made her appearance in that was it the swamp match where she was maybe Sister Abigail? We weren't really sure.
Yeah, that was a horror, a House of Horrors, or
no, House of Horrors was Bray and Randy. It was the swamp. No.
Yeah, it was on Extreme Rules.
Yeah.
House of Horrors. And it was a swamp match or something like that.
Swamp match, I think. Yeah. But so then we're like, oh,
that smelled like swamp ass. That match was terrible.
But Alexa Bliss was off TV for a couple weeks once Randy kind of got under Bray or the Fiend's skin, if you will. And then we have Alexa making her appearance back with the playset. I think it's great. It's nice to show that, hey, the Fiend really isn't gone, despite him being burnt to a crisp.
Yeah.
But yeah, it should be interesting to see how they'll keep this going, on Raw tonight. And obviously there's still more between Randy and the Fiend, and perhaps that'll just lead into the Rumble.
Yeah, I was going to say, we're on our road to the Rumble, which is the road to WrestleMania. So we're almost there. This is really the hot time of wrestling. And again, we're hoping that WrestleMania somehow they open up the Tropicana field and put somebody in there, put some people in there. I mean, I can't wait to see it. I mean, I know they have people at NXT right now, but those are invites. Those aren't people buying tickets outside. They're not getting, concession stands. I mean, they're brought in and, they're eating at catering and then going sitting at ringside and hooting and hollering. It's just not the same.
Yeah, I mean, if the laws or rules or whatnot in Florida right now are, lax enough that you can have pods or, individual seating in Jacksonville, you can have that in Orlando. Or if they do it in Tampa, as kind of seeming like that might happen again, or at least attempt to have it take place in Tampa again.
Raymond James will be empty at that point. I don't believe, is the Super Bowl at Raymond James this year, actually?
I think it is, but obviously that's in, beginning of February. So I think, I mean, it's definitely a possibility. And if they're already letting fans into some capacity in Florida right now, I gotta believe in come April, we get a chance to do more. So, I had...
Because WrestleMania was supposed to be in LA at the SoFi.
This year, it was supposed to be, this year. So
yeah, that's already done. I think they've already crushed that.
Yeah, perhaps next year. But with Florida being a bit more open to having fans to some capacity, I had some hopes that maybe they might do that for the Rumble, but nothing's been mentioned, so I don't think so. But I mean, there's still time to make something happen. Well, heck, I mean, they were still trying to make it happen March of this year.
Right.
Okay.
Well, hey, I believe we're going to talk to you tomorrow morning. Yeah.
Okay,
we'll talk about everything that happens on Raw. Hopefully we got some more news to bring to you. And again, folks, stay safe. I'm not one to give advice, really. I mean, you do what you do, but I enjoy every single one of you listening, subscribing, liking, commenting on all the stuff that we do. It's showing. It really is. I was just telling Linda earlier today, earlier right before the show, that it's growing here, and we want to keep growing this. We're going to keep this thing moving. So for Linda K, I'm the man they call Meathead. Hey, thanks for stopping by. So long, everyone.